Good evening, my friend. Welcome to the show. Man, I missed you this week. I am Lou Mangello. This is WDW Radio Live. Thank you for being here. If you are watching live, please sit back, relax, grab a snack, tag, and invite a friend. If you're watching on the replay, please don't forget to join us every Wednesday night right here at WDWRadioLive.com. I'm so thrilled to see so many familiar names and faces and new names and faces in the box tonight. And if you're watching, you are watching sort of in the box. That's why we call the box and the box people. It has been a week, to say the least. And I want to very, very quickly start off by addressing something that impacts us all and is obviously infinitely more important than what I do here. And I am neither qualified nor comfortable trying to be anything else other than a bright light, a place of hope and positivity, and hopefully a brief distraction from some of the very harsh realities that we as a human race must face. And, you know, sometimes it's okay not to say anything and let others' voices be heard, which is why I didn't post it all yesterday. I didn't post a black box because I didn't want to create any additional noise on social so that other messages can get through. And please keep in mind that everybody is processing emotions, and we all process emotions very differently. And I only ask that we try and understand each other as much as and as well as we can, and not judge for how we react and respond. You know, I tell entrepreneurs all the time that it doesn't matter necessarily how fast or slow you go. Like, you can't judge where you are by where other people are on their road. And I think, you know, that applies here. As long as we're all going down the same right path, sometimes the speed and maybe how we drive might not be the same. And it's okay to be mad and sad and angry and anxious and overwhelmed and unsure and afraid, yet I think still be positive. And look, if you've listened before, you know me. I still and will always believe that there is more that unites us than divides us. And I pray that we and all of us become just better human beings and stronger and smarter, more patient, understanding, and giving towards other people. I have always believed, and I still believe, there is opportunity in adversity. I talked about it, you know, when COVID was was what we were talking about, and I think, you know, we can and we should and we will heal and get better together. So I want to just keep it simple, right? Like, love thy neighbor, you know, and we are all neighbors on this. It's to quote, on this big blue world, we are all neighbors. But I want and I hope that this show and site and relationship and community that we have, as it has been since day one in 2004, is a place for anyone and everyone to come together as friends and as equals in a warm, welcoming environment where we choose the good in what we see, what we think, and what we do. And I want to thank you for making the clubhouse and maintaining the clubhouse as such an amazing, safe, and happy place. And for that, I love and appreciate you. Again, sometimes it's tough to talk about certain things when outside our windows and outside our doors and through our screens, there's a lot more important stuff going on. But I want to try and start to move forward in a positive way and get back to some of the things again that will you know, make and keep us happy. Speaking of getting back, awkward transition, but I got to transition somehow. This week was another sort of step in getting back a little bit to normalcy, because I went back and did my first live dining review in the first time in forever. It feels, I literally almost felt uncomfortable because it had been so long since I had taken you with me to the table, and at some place that I've literally never stepped foot inside Wine Bar George. I was traveling, I think I was traveling to speak somewhere when it opened, so I wasn't there for any of the grand opening. I have not been in there for a glass of wine, a snack, certainly not for brunch. And boy, was I surprised pleasantly when we went there on Sunday. Spoiler alert. There is a special guest appearance. It's George Milionis. We loved our brunch, and I've got 2 words for you. Cheez-Its. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's your tease. Please go and check it out at wdwradio.com/590. Yes, we're 10 episodes away from 600. More importantly, tell a friend, listen, and subscribe over in Apple Podcasts. And as always, please, please, please help spread the word. So, and let me know either here or in the in our Facebook group. If you've ever been there, go check out the post. Let me know if you've been there, whether it's for brunch or for dinner. I know I absolutely have to get back there in the evening hours, maybe even once we can start doing late nights again, a little late night at Wine Bar George. I don't want to jump too fast to too many conclusions, but it escalated very fast from never having been there to one of my favorite places in Disney Springs. Did he just say that? He did, because he means it, and he's blind and can't read the comments. So Kevin says, that charcuterie board is amazing, and I'm trying to say it like Wine Bar George sounds delicious. William says, Cheez-Its work in so many things. Who'd have known? Who would have thunk that Cheez-Its, Becky's, of course, you know, what I like about Becky is it's always about Becky. At least you are consistent across the board, because Becky says, another place you haven't taken me because it's so close to Boathouse. Becky, we can do both. There's enough of this to go around, so we can do Boathouse and we can do Wine Bar George. Carrie Zaray, good to see you. Linda Lammers was there at the bar last September. Mark Jones said it made me very hungry. I need to make sausage and gravy. Mark Jones, I'll tell you, man, that I traveled in, by car through the South and the Deep South a lot growing up as a kid. I'll share so we drove everywhere, and my parents also had an antique business. So we were always sort of just traveling around, finding little roadside antique stores. And sometimes we'd go to these little mom and pop restaurants. And that's where I was introduced to sausage gravy and biscuits, which again was not something from the Northeast. So I've had my fair share, and I've got the stretchy pants to prove it. That was some of the best I had because it wasn't overly heavy, which I really, really liked. Jason Knapp, what? Says best food on Disney property. Jason Knapp, while I love what you do at herewiththemagic.com, that's a bold statement, my friend. I'm not saying that I'm challenging you on it. I'm saying that I need to experience it for myself. Boathouse and Takumi Tay. It sounds like Jason's throwing down the gauntlet. I'm not. Whatever. Zach Brown says, raise your hand if you made this mistake of listening while hungry. I ate while I went there I did not leave hungry. Chandler says, so much fun. Love the dining reviews. Cheryl thinks Wine Bar George is amazing. Kelly loves Wine Bar George. A lot of love for Wine Bar George here. So, Candace Nelson says, I've experienced the love of a WDW radio meet firsthand. Bryant Park 2012. Candace, man, that was a long time ago. Not in a galaxy far, far away. It literally was a lifetime ago, but it was a lot of fun. So I hope to see you again in Walt Disney World again soon. But again, just very quickly, a lot of love for that. Zach ordered biscuits and gravy for dinner because, Zach, I dig the fact, man, that breakfast for dinner is absolutely in your wheelhouse. Kenyon says you're losing weight and looking well. Kenyon, just so you know, it's camera angles, and notice the shirt is dark once again. You're probably not going to see me in a white shirt or a toga anytime soon. Patricia Knapp, always nice to see you as well. And Jason Knapp, maybe purely in the interest of research, we need to grab some friends and do a little late night or late-ish night dining at Wine Bar George. And it's what I love is that you offered to buy. So, I appreciate that about you. Fred Abley, it's good to see you, brother. I'm thinking about you this week for many reasons, my friend. Martin Shergold from the United Kingdom. God save the Queen. And Martin... Becky says, lose like a box of chocolates. You never know. Oh, my God, that's the biggest graphic ever. You never know what you're going to get. Hat, no hat, beard, no beard. Listen, it's true. You never know, especially in these weird quarantine days. Carlos Eduardo Silva. Oh, now I really messed this up. Carlos Eduardo Silva from Punto Orlando and PuntoMiami.com says, I will go with you. Carlos, I'm going to try and wait for you. But if I need to do a little pre-gaming, please don't hate me. But you need to get up here very, very quickly. The Disney Springs food crawl. I love the idea, but moderation is going to be the tough part. That's going to be the part we really have to work on. So, Tacey Atkinson from ChasingHappiness.ca says nothing an elevated day is as time with Lou Mangello, and if food is involved, even better. Tacey, I can't wait to see you again and be able to eat with you again, hopefully in Walt Disney World. Jody Rice, I did get a haircut. No, I was very nervous because my place and my guy is still closed, so I had to go someplace new. I was super nervous, but I think it's okay. I guess it's doable. So. Kelly Lawrence says, a glass of Amarone is on us next time we get there for my friend Lou. I'm going to screenshot that. So, and Lori Oliveri, Progressive Dinner, been there, done that. One of the many reasons why you and Angelo are some of my bestest friends. You might not realize it, but just because I like the way you guys roll. So, Hal doesn't even understand the word moderation. So, yeah, listen, it was great to get back to Springs. It was great to be there again. It was great to try something new for brunch. Things are still opening up. Homecoming hasn't opened back up again. I was at Morimoto on Thursday for a business meeting, which I realized afterwards took about 3 hours, not because of the quality of the food or service, but because of the quality of the conversation. And we had appetizers, food, and dessert, and something kept on happening to the sake cup because it I must have kept on knocking it over because it kept on refilling over and over and over. Patricia was kind enough to point out, do I see some gray? Yes, Patricia, you see a lot of gray. And when she cut my hair, much of it was on the floor. But it is. It's not gray. It's salt and pepper. It's I'm not trying to go for anything. It is what it is. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a vacation, Becky. Crystal Steers, it was a business meeting, and if she shows up in here, I will call her out for who I had the. So Matthew Woolley says, what is the must-have item on the brunch menu? I didn't even get to have the charcuterie board. You know what? Those mac and cheese bites, I'm not going to say why. They were outstanding. I really liked my sausage gravy and biscuits a lot. And although the portion size, if you go to www.com/590, you'll see photos from our meal. The desserts are small in size, but very high in flavor. So it's actually just enough. If it would have been any more, it almost would have been too much, and I don't get to say that. Dave Coviello, it has been a long time since you've been here, but it is good to see you. Scott Sanders as well. Jim Rohosky, always nice to see you. And T-Rex is open. I haven't been to there in a long time. Shannon King, love me some Shannon King, says those magic refilling sake cups are something. BLT for lunch is the right move. So are you saying BLT? Like a BLT, the sandwich, or Bay Lake Tower? Because when you're using the Disneyisms, there's a little bit of a crossover there. And now I want a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. So, Maggie, you should know, never, ever join the stream while hungry. If there was some way that I could somehow feed you all, as if you came to my home, you know that there would be copious amount of food for sharing. If I could do that virtually, I would absolutely do it. So, biscuits and gravy, I miss so much. Can't get them here. So Jane in the UK cannot get biscuits and gravy. I wonder why. Which is better, Lou, says Caleb Joshua Hill, the Boathouse or Wine Bar George? Listen, it's going to be really tough to knock Boathouse off of where it sits for a variety of reasons, right? Because Boathouse it's more than just the food and the service, it's location, it's the ambiance, it's a lot of different things. Wine Bar George is ticking a lot of those boxes. I've been once. I will go back again so I can sample the dinner and late night menu. And I'm really happy too that I brought my kids with me because, again, I think when you hear wine bar, you sort of might dismiss it as a place for families, but certainly for brunch, it's absolutely appropriate. And there was plenty for them to eat, even if you have picky eaters as well. So I think Wine Bar George can serve multiple masters, and that outside seating area, again, if you go and look at the pictures on the show notes on the website, you'll see the views. And we had a gorgeous day that day. The weather was perfect. The Disney Springs was not crowded. The skies were blue. Characters in Flight was in the background. Music and laughter. It was a beautiful, beautiful picture. And I didn't have to sort of roll myself out. I ate a lot, but didn't feel like I had eaten too much. Colleen says, I see a cooking show in your future. Colleen, unless it's Worst Cooks in America, I am not a chef. I wish I knew how to, but I don't. But I am happy to partake of food that is made, but I am not a... Have the crowds been steady at Disney Springs? Matthew, they were very, very light when I was there on Thursday. Now, granted, it was a Thursday. The weather was about to, be, summertime in Florida. Amanda Bonner can probably tell you how good Morimoto Asia is. I know that she's been there before. Wink. Steve LaRoque says, and wine. Don't forget the wine. I did actually try. We tried a few different wines. A couple of the different Frosé cocktails with the Dole Whips and stuff. Very, very good. And I am not a big drinker at all. This is matcha. So just so you know, that's all that's in here is matcha. Dylan says, I'm not a chef, but I know what I like. Exactly, Dylan. My place is not in the kitchen, not for lack of a desire to be there, but just for lack of ability and talent. So Jim's going to be there Monday with his daughter, moving down Friday. Jim, I'm so happy for you and your daughter. I know we've chatted a lot, sort of offline about that. So really, really thrilled for you as well. And Paul Clark, I have had Scotch eggs. I've had them in the UK pavilion at Rose and Crown, where I thought they were delicious. I've also had them in the UK, like in London, where they were equally as good. It might not suit everybody's palate, but I loved it. Amanda Bonner says, Morimoto Asia, the ribs, the sake, the chicken bao buns, the yellowtail snapper, the fried rice. I need to go back. And that was just appetizers. So that was really nice. But listen, let's keep moving forward as the case may be, and insert music here for our next segment, which is, of course, our top 5 live, where I love to share. Look, I love sharing top 10s on the show, and what I want to do is have not just me share my top 5, but I really want to make it a conversation with you, because I don't want you to fight me on my 5. I want you to tell me if you agree, disagree, anything that I might have missed, and add yours to the list as well. And this week, I was thinking where I wanted to go. I was almost going to do a top 5 brunches, but I knew it wouldn't have been fair because I would have probably put Wine Bar George at the top, although I love Homecomings. Again, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I still have never done, by the way, California Grill for brunch. If only there was somebody who wanted to go to California Grill for brunch with me. I guess I'll find somebody eventually, at some point, or I'll go by myself and review it alone. There's nothing wrong with that, too. But what I want to do, Becky's going to post something to the Nation group. Whenever I see Becky say that she's going to post something, it gets me nervous. Although, I have actual footage of Lou cooking an egg and making sushi, and Becky, I ate all of yours because you opted for the roast beef sandwich in Japan. Let's tell the whole... I was just going to say something nice about you, right? Because you know me that I am a hugger, and I'm like... When I say that I miss you, it's a very, very sincere statement. I miss you individually and collectively, and I miss hugs. And Becky's known I've had, it's been a tough couple weeks, and so she sent me, if you need somebody to hug, Becky sent it in the mail, and she sent me a huggable version of Spider-Man, and then she said something mean about me, but that's okay, because I've got my Spidey to hug, and he's like a service animal, like he's a comfort thing. So thank you for sending me Spidey. Here, sit right there. Spidey had one too many wines at Wine Bar George as well. All right, whatever. But so thank you, Becky Mank. Anyway, let's get back to the list at hand. Top 5 live. Again, you would think that I'm going to always and only go to food-related topics, but we're not. Because this week, in anticipation and in light of the announcements of when the parks are going to open and what it potentially is going to look like in terms of the different phases, I know we talked about snacks in Magic Kingdom last week, so I said, let's go over to Epcot this week. And one of my favorite parts of Epcot Center really has always been and will always be World Showcase. I love what it's been, I love what it is, and I love what it's going to continue to be. We speculated not too long ago about some countries that we'd like to see added to World Showcase. So this week, we're going to share my top 5 World Showcase pavilions. Now, in terms of how I ranked my top 5, the factors in consideration included design, decor, theming, architecture, merchandise, entertainment. Yes, of course, it had to be dining as well. I really tried to look at them from a wide-angle lens and then sort of digging down a little deep. Now, again, I had a lot of I really had a lot of trouble with most of this list, except for one, because I didn't know sort of how and where to rank what and why. So I'm not reading your comments because you're spoiling what you know. I know, it's very, if you know me, you know what number 1's going to be. But here's my top 5 World Showcase pavilions in Epcot Center. And number 5 is Mexico. And Mexico makes the list for a lot of reasons. I love the exterior aesthetic of the Mayan temple. I want to go and see some of these pyramids in person. Inside, it's like a nighttime party. It's also cool inside, by the way. There's an amazing energy in there. I love La Cava. I love the 2 restaurants that are waterside, and certainly we have the attraction of the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the 3 Caballeros. There's a lot I love about the simplicity of the ride. I love the cultural artifacts and some of the cultural representatives that you'll find inside sort of the lobby of the pyramid. So I think last time we were there was Oaxacan crafts and art. There was some cocoa displays as well, but you sort of really, it's one of those transformative places because when you go inside, you forget about what it looks and feels like outside because it is always that evening party in there. And I love the simplicity of the attraction. And I have a soft spot in my little heart for La Cava de Tequila. Again, not being a huge drinker, there's something very warm and hospitable there. I have good memories of going there with friends. So Mexico is number 5 on my list of top 5 World Showcase pavilions. Number 4, this one was tough. Don't get mad at me. Number 4 is the American Adventure. Now, I like Walt Disney, right? I wave the American flag very hard. Again, Walt said, if you can look into my eyes, the flag is waving in red, white, and blue up my spine. I really struggled with this because I wanted to put American Adventure higher. The reason why it wasn't is for a number of reasons, one of which is the food options. Now, I need to be clear, I have not been to the Regal Eagle Smokehouse as yet. But the reason why it is on the list is because the American Adventure Show is, I think, one of the best shows anywhere. And you don't have to be an American to enjoy it and appreciate the visuals, the messaging, the music is beautiful there. I do wish, if I had a wish list for American Adventure, I do wish there was more and a wider variety of shopping. I wish more regions of the America were showcased. I certainly love Voices of Liberty. I love the rotating exhibits inside the gallery. There's a lot that I love about it. Plus, America. And look, the country itself might not be perfect, like many things, but I love it nonetheless. Both the pavilion, for a lot of reasons. And again, if only somebody would join me to go to the Regal Eagle Smokehouse so I can review it on the show. If only I had friends who were local who would want to do that with me. I don't know. Anyway, so that is my number 4 is the American Adventure. And I'll tell you, these next couple of ones, these were really tough. And I'm not sure if 2 and 3 I would swap out. And then I'm also obviously going to get to my honorable mentions. There's only 2 because there's only 11 countries. But number 3 is France, or France if you're a conehead. The reason why I love it, the architecture, the cobblestone streets, the music. I think Impressions de France is potentially one of the best, if not the best, World Showcase attraction. And I say that very, very reluctantly because I love American Adventure so much. I think the Beauty and the Beast sing-along is now an attractor for children, which it did not have before. It was a missing element that has been plugged in. Les boulangeries, pastries and breads are wonderful, especially for breakfast or lunch. Again, not a sweet guy, but I love the gelato. I think it's one of the most photogenic pavilions, if you know what I mean. I think there's phenomenal photo opportunities throughout the morning and the evening. The acrobat show outside, certainly Remy's is coming, the wine, the perfume, the Grand Marnier slushy, the crepe, the kiosks outside. And I love really the period that was chosen. It's called La Belle Epoque. It's a period from about the early 1870s until the start of World War I, when Paris really was just sort of having this blooming renaissance of art and architecture, and Art Nouveau was very much in vogue at the time. I love the artistic era in terms of Impressionism and Monet, and I like that was what was chosen for the pavilion. It very easily could have been number 1, right? Depending on how you wanted to argue it, but it wasn't, because right now France sits here at number 3. I almost wish I would have swapped these 2 out, because my number 2 is the United Kingdom. Okay, and I've done shows in the past about Martin. I've done shows with Martin about the United Kingdom, the food in the United Kingdom. I've done shows with Emma Godbold and just how close is the pavilion to the country. Having been there now, I see a lot of the UK in the UK. I think the pub, it doesn't have an attraction, but Rose and Crown, I think, is an attraction. I love Carol Stein, the piano lady. I cannot wait to see her again. The architecture, there's a wonderful progression of time. And if you go back to that episode I did with Emma, I really go into detail about how each of the different buildings and facades represent different periods and where they were inspired from. I love the Yorkshire Crown Fish Shop, the Tea Caddy. I'm a tea drinking kind of guy. The quaint little winding streets, the live entertainment that has changed throughout the year, during the festivals, the topiary, the waterside dining, if you can get it, a seat outside at Rose and Crown. Again, UK ticks a lot of the boxes for me. even though it doesn't have a quote unquote attraction, there's a lot about the pavilion that I think is an attraction in and of itself. So that is my number 2. So again, Mexico, American Adventure, France, and the United Kingdom. It should come as no surprise, if you know me, to anybody in the room that clearly, without question, do not pass go, do not collect $200. You know, of course, that Norway is my favorite. Of course, it's not. It's not Norway. Number 1 by far is Japan. And I, if you've listened to the show or me drone on about Japan before, you know it's look. I think Mitsukoshi Department Store is I talk about dining experiences. I think Mitsukoshi is a shopping experience, taking you through different regions and cultural areas of Japan, from the kawaii cute culture to some of the art, some of the quirky things that Japan has. Certainly the food. I think the sake bar is a hidden gem in the back. Don't even let me get started on the dining, because it's not just... I think Katsura Grill is one of the best dining experiences for counter service. I love both Tokyo Dining and Teppan Edo. If only I had some friends who would go to Teppan Edo with me. And Takumi Te, I'm leaving Boathouse out of the equation, is probably the best meal you will have in Walt Disney World. Hands down. Hands down. I've been twice. It is an outstanding meal from beginning to end. The taiko drummers, you will be back. The gardens, the architecture, the music, the view, every single thing about it. Now, before you start yelling at me, too late, because I see it there, and I know, Mangello, how do you leave the motherland off the list? Even on my honorable mentions, I didn't do it. Look, I put Morocco, and yes, I actually put China. I don't think China gets a lot of love. I think Morocco is potentially one of the prettiest pavilions. I also believe that Tangerine Cafe is one of the best counter service locations. I think Spice Road Table is a great place for tapas meals. Really, really good. Beautiful views out by the water. I don't think Morocco gets as much love as it should for the art and architecture. I don't think people necessarily go in and wander those meandering streets in the background and go inside to sort of the cultural center to learn a little bit more. And look, I know, crazy as I am, I put China on the list. I put China on the list, and it didn't make the list itself, honestly, because of dining. And granted, I haven't been to Nine Dragons in years. I understand it has improved a lot. But I think, having been to China, I think that the pavilion captures a lot of the architectural and natural beauty of the country. I do like the fact that there is counter service and a higher end dining opportunity there. I think, again, the shopping and the architecture are attractions. It's got great entertainment. I think Reflections of China is a fantastic film as well. The acrobatic show is stellar, and the gardens are gorgeous, especially during Flower and Garden Festival. So, I struggle. My last name ends in a vowel. I know. Who are you and what have you done with my friend? Listen, I wanted to put Italy on there, and I will tell you that, and I can show you because the first graphic that I made did swap one of those out. I won't say which. It did swap one of those out, and I had Italy. And I was afraid that I was picking Italy purely for gastronomical purposes, because when I think of Italy, I love the architecture and the Doge's Palace and the St. Mark's Square, but really Italy's attractions are To Di Gusto, the Wine Cellar, Teppan Edo, I'm on it right now, Via Napoli, and even the little wine bar and some of the food that and that I think is Italy's strong suit, right? It is certainly the culinary opportunities there. I think the shopping is almost more of an attraction. I'm not going in and buying a lot of perfume and pocketbooks and high-end stuff. I think the Venetian mask artist, and I will tell you that was one of the very first videos I ever did, probably 12 years ago, where I spent some time, like the nicest guy in the world, super talented, really learned a lot about the Venetian masks. So that's why it almost made the list, but it's also why it didn't make the list. So, I hope that my family does not strike me down from above for not putting it on there. And Becky, I know, the fact that Italy has those spectacular views of World Showcase Lagoon, certainly for special event, but for the everyday guest, the possibility of a special event there is probably not one of the things that I had to use as a qualifier for it. And again, I really, really struggled with it because I love the architecture. I love the food. That we had an amazing time at the Tutti Gusto wine cellar. I think it's one of the overlooked dining experiences in Walt Disney World. I wish that the entertainment was a little bit more varied. I miss the Ziti sisters. And look, Sergio is great, but he's been there a long time, and I don't necessarily think that he reflects the beautiful, when I say the art, I mean both the visual arts as well as the musical arts, which I think could really be highlighted there, even more so than they are. So Italy almost made the list. I think it still can. I'd love to see some things added to it. I'd even like to see, like, if they had like some gardens in the back, sort of where the olive trees are. Like, if they could sort of blow that out and have like this little walk-through garden or seating area back there. That might even do it as well too. So, but fortunately, my opinion may change because we're going to Italy, the real Italy, like the true motherland, next year in March. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago. Then the world got crazy for all the millions of different reasons, but we are doing an Adventures by Disney, and forgive me, I don't have a graphic to put up. We are doing Adventures by Disney in March of 2021. If you signed up for the interest list, we are going to reach out to you. You are going to get first shot at the very limited number of spots. There's just 30. It's for a week, I believe. Becky, correct me if I'm wrong, March 17th to the 24th, somewhere right around that time frame. So interest list people will get first crack. WDW Radio Nation, you get first crack, and then we're going to open it up if there's any spots left to the general public. If you are interested in coming, do me a favor, email me, lou@wdwradio.com. We will see the real Italy, and then we'll compare it to the Italy and Epcot, which I actually did on a show with Maria, probably a couple of years ago. If somebody wants to link that up, you can hear from somebody who is from Italy just how much the Italy pavilion compares and contrasts to the real one. So Becky's probably yelling at me because I probably March 12th to the 19th. I knew that there was a 9 and a 2 in there somewhere. So March 12th through the 19th. Again, life has gotten in the way. I haven't had a chance to put up a graphic, but definitely let me know. Or if you have any questions, if you go to, I know we put this somewhere. I will put a link in the Facebook group too, if you want some more information as well. So that is a trip that I've really been waiting for. Also, speaking of which, next year, I know we're starting to think about, things opening up and life getting back to normal and being able to travel again. Don't forget that we have our Marvel Day at Sea cruise in January. So you can technically do both, January 23rd through the 28th out of Miami, 5 nights, which is the perfect, like, for this kind of cruise. Miami is a spectacular port. Maybe we'll spend a day or so there beforehand. And Marvel Day at Sea, other than Alaska, is far, far, far and away my favorite of the Disney cruises. So definitely go to www.radio.com/Marvel Cruise. Becky Mankin and the team will give you a free, no obligation quote. And look, there's me and Spider-Man. And look, there's even the Mouse Fan Travel logo above his head on deck. My head is so freakishly big. But would love to see you with us on board the Disney Magic. Jeremy Goff says, Lou is now banned from the Italy Pavilion, has been relegated to eating Chef Boyardee in the corner. Man, I used to love Chef Boyardee as a kid. I'd come home after school and I'd make it, whatever. By the way, Jeremy Goff, forgive me, I don't know the exact. Jeremy Goff is an incredibly talented musician, and last night put on a concert from his home theater, his home studio, his home amphitheater, whatever it was, called Goffstock. If you go to the Box People group, we linked to it there. You can catch it on the replay. Super smart, super talented guy, very generous with his gifts. So it was a lot of fun to be able to tune in for a few minutes and watch that. So check it out on the replay. And Ryan Donahoe from the Forcecast, those were not my flip-flops, nor was that my head, by the way, just in case it wasn't clear that that is definitely not me. I think that's probably a 7-year-old boy, which is what it's really sort of what I am, from a relative maturity standpoint. That's sort of where I sit. So there you go. So that was our top 5 live. I would certainly love to hear your thoughts on what you think should be added, what you think should be taken away. Make your case for what you think should be part. I'll post the graphic in the Box People group after we are done tonight, and I encourage you to share your thoughts and share it out with other people as well. So there was a couple of things I wanted to get to tonight, because I know last week I had hinted to a mystery prize giveaway that I unfortunately didn't get to. I had a Zach Brown, my Photoshop skills are without rival. Listen, Canva, it's all Canva. So Photoshop Elements is the worst thing ever for me, because I'm really just not talented at all. But I did promise you a mystery prize giveaway. We ran out of time because I did have another commitment to another show that I had to jump over to as well. And then just life got in the way, and I wanted to wait until tonight because you are my best friend, and I wanted to give you the heads up on it first. And I said last week that I was giving away a baby. And I want to thank all of you that called the authorities to make sure that I really was not giving away a baby. But I am, and I will. I've actually had a baby here in my office, and I just need to get rid of them. So I think I need to get rid of this baby, and I think you're the perfect person to take care of this little child, as it were, and that's why I'm giving them away. Like, no, what is it? What's the thing? No purchase necessary, void where prohibited by law, but I'm giving away a child. In fact, I'm giving away the child. You knew this was coming. It's Baby Yoda. And seriously, who does not love Baby Yoda? I am giving away a Baby Yoda Funko Pop Funko Baby Yoda. I'm going to be giving away on my Instagram. I'm probably going to be posting it later on tonight or tomorrow morning. I will let it run for a few days. All you're going to need to do is just follow, like, comment, tag somebody else, have them follow me as well. And if you don't think I don't have them, I have Baby Yoda in hand. He is ready to go. Look at him. Look at that little punum. He just needs a home. That's all he needs. Right there. And if you've never collected Funko Pops before, get ready. Because once you get one, like, see those 3? You end up with, like, that up there. So they're great. And who doesn't love Baby Yoda? Obviously, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, what are you doing, man? Like, you've been home in quarantine. Go check it out. It's some of the best TV I've seen anytime, anywhere. And so I will tell you how to do it tomorrow. I will show you the way. This is the way that you win the child. Amber Bramble says, "Win me, you give." I only have one. I only have one to give away. And if he does as well as the Baby Yoda socks did when I had the Baby Yoda, maybe I'll see if I can find some more Baby Yoda socks too. I'll give another pair of Baby Yoda socks as well. So there he is. So I am giving away a child, the child. Starting, I might not be able to get to it tonight. If not, look for it tomorrow morning on my Instagram at instagram.com/LouMongello. And hey, if you can, do me a favor, spread the word, right? That's what this is all about. It's, we talk about community. We talk about, spreading the word and letting other people know, because what we're doing is we want to invite more people who are like-minded, that feel the same way about not just Disney, but the way we do, and inviting them to be part of the community and conversation. So invite them to come over to www.radio.com/community and also spread the word about the show. I see there are so many other Facebook pages and Facebook groups. If you're allowed to, or if there's somebody's talking about podcasts or a way to sort of fill time, I'd love it if you would help spread the word about the show, a favorite episode, anything that you like. That really is the best way, and it's super, super helpful, not just for me, but for our family, our WDW Radio community as a whole. So if there's anything that you need in terms of graphics or something, I can certainly do that as well. But, that's the way to help, right, is to people asking the time is, what can I do to help you? Is spread the word by sharing, commenting, inviting. Thanks to everybody who's part of the WDW Nation family. That goes a long, long way. Trust me, especially now, it's incredibly helpful. And if there's some way I can help you, right, I want to help you in return, go to LouMongello.com and please let me know. And again, to everybody who's part of the Nation family, thank you so, so, so much. You don't know how much your support and your love and your friendship really mean to me, and how much it really does help the show too. So there you go. There you go. Let me see. Terry, I don't understand what you're saying. Oh, so Amanda is actually wearing a Baby Yoda shirt right now. The Funko is mine, she says. Everybody has equal opportunity to win. It's a simple, simple giveaway. There's no, you don't have to do anything funky other than really just helping to spread the word. And Amanda Bonner wants some Baby Yoda socks. I might still have. There's still stuff in the prize closet. Not everything, by the way, has gone up on eBay, although a lot of it has. And thanks to all of you who have bid and won. It's just time to clear out stuff that I've been collecting really since I was a kid. I want to share it with you, and I'm out of room, and more stuff's going to be coming off these shelves as well. So every week, starting and ending every Sunday night, 9:00 Eastern, there are 10 new auctions from Disney, Star Wars, stuff from as early as the 70s up till now. There's posters, signed artwork, collectibles, anything and everything that you can think of. Plus, every auction starts off at just $1, and there is no reserve. I want it to go to the best home as easily as possible. So you can go check out those auctions at www.radio.com/eBay. And then, again, if you can help spread the word, I'd really appreciate it. So Eddie says they need to make a Lou Mongello Funko Pop. Eddie, as a matter of fact, my daughter, actually, I'm going to cry. She made one for me for Christmas. So she took a Funko Pop. She did her little work on the box. Maybe sent me a nice little note on the back. And what I really like about this, if you really look, she embellished the eyebrows even more. So I really appreciate that about my daughter, really making sure that all the details are correct. And she even did it on the box. Like, she even made sure that the image on the box had bigger eyebrows too. So she's not going to be winning the child Funko Pop, by the way. So, Amber Bramble, thank you very much for being part of and to spreading the word about the nation. I really, really do appreciate it. So, Martin Shergold. I was waiting for it. I didn't think it was going to come from Martin, but it says Martin Shergold. The Lou Mongello Funko Pop is life size too. So thank you for that. So Jeremy says, I can't wait for Mandalorian season 79 when Baby Yoda becomes emo teenager Yoda, like Groot in the last film when he's teenage Groot is just like teenage kids. So it's funny because it's true. So there you go. We had our top 5 live. We have our contest coming up, and again, it was just really, really happy to see you guys again tonight. I look forward to seeing you again in the parks. I sincerely, I want to apologize. I know that I had to postpone again the virtual meet of the month last week. There's just a lot of stuff in life that's going on that unfortunately caused me to have to postpone it. I hate to do it last minute like that as well. I'm trying to find a night that I can reschedule it, maybe even during the week if I can. We'll get on a live Zoom call, which now is becoming more of the norm than anything else. But it's like having a meet of the month, so we can at least hear and talk to each other and see each other and share a virtual hug in person. So I want to thank all of you. I certainly want to always thank Becky Mankin and the entire team at Mouse Fan Travel. I've been saying this repeatedly, and it's true. Like now more than ever, show your travel agent, show Becky and her team some love as we start to think about the parks reopening, planning your next vacation or cruise or Aulani or anywhere on the planet. I think that you realize now the importance of having not just a very smart and qualified travel agency, but a company behind you to help you if and when you need it, especially now with all of the changes. I think Becky and I one night are going to do a little live Q&A. So if you have any questions about either upcoming trips, some of the announcements that have been coming out that can be a little confusing as they continue to roll out, we're going to do something live with you guys as well. I'll have Becky, I'll have her put down her cocktail and join me live on the show one night. So that's it for now. That's it for tonight. I'm going to look for you guys, obviously, continuing in the Box People group. Again, if you're not part of the community, please go to wdwradio.com/community or /Box People. We call it the Box People because that's what this is, right? I talk into this box. You are in this box on my desk, in my room, and really in my life and heart. And I mean that. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you so very much. You are amazing. You inspire me. I almost said you complete me, but you do. You don't know, I do this show for you. And I do the show because I love it. And I'm blessed that you allow me to come into your life and spend and share it with you. But tonight and the shows that we do on Wednesdays are, I do it for me too, because I miss you. It's my way that I can connect with you in a real-time kind of way. And I look forward to seeing you again. If there's some way that I can help you, please reach out. You can also go to LouMongello.com. You can find out more about, if you want to sort of do something more formal, work with you. We still actually have one more spot for our mastermind group. It has launched already, but we do have one spot. If you go to LouMongello.com, I'm happy to try and help you there. Don't forget about the eBay auctions every Sunday night. Don't forget to join the WDW Radio Nation. And finally, and most importantly, remember to please always choose the good. Find the good in what you think, in what you say, in what you do. Be good to each other. It's that simple. Be good to one another, and take care of yourself too. And stay safe and stay healthy. And that's it. And know that I love you and that I appreciate you more than I obviously have the words to articulate. So come back. Tell me what your thoughts are on the Top 5 Live. Spread the word about the show, the site, and certainly our WDW Radio Live each and every week. So until next time, I love you. See ya. And thank you.